Greetings, everyone. It's great to be with you and learning with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Our presentation today is entitled The City of the Sun, Utopian Direction and Self-Mastery. Down through the ages, philosophers and mystics have given to humanity inspiring stories of societies living in a harmonious manner. The ideals promulgated in these utopian tales have provided long-term direction for the evolvement and improvement of societies and the individual. We will focus on the early 17th century story, Civitas Solis in Latin, or in English, The City of the Sun, by the learned and courageous Tommaso Campanella. Now, to prepare ourselves for this presentation, we'll first, as is our custom, do a meditation. And I'll bring up for you an image of a conceptual nature based on the design of the City of the Sun. You'll see before you here a central sun, where the great temple to the sun was in the hilltop situation at the center of the city, suggesting the mountain motif where the temple is high up. And there's 7 circles you see here of concentric walls or circular walls that form the City of the Sun. Also in the design of the City of the Sun, there were 4 gates in the 4 directions. Now 7, of course, is an important symbolic number because it builds on the solidity of 4 and the perfection of the triangle for the 4 plus 3 gives us 7. The 7, along with 12, are important numbers for the cadence and rhythm of the universe traditionally. We'll apply this design in our meditation because in a way it's like a mandala-like design or sacred diagram that can assist us interiorly in our meditation. Just further this matter, I'd like to read to you part of a poem, or quote part of a poem by Tommaso Campanella. It's entitled The Way to Philosophize. That is to enter into philosophy. The world's the book where the eternal sense wrote its own thoughts. The living temple where, painting its very self with figures fair, it filled the whole immense circumference. Here then should each person read and gazing find both how to live and govern and beware of the godliness, seeing God everywhere. Be bold to grasp the universal mind. You know, part of the concept of the ideal city through various cultures and various time periods is that is the ultimate center of existence, the center of the cosmos, and the center of the microcosm deep within our beings. So that inspiring conception of this design of the City of the Sun before us with its great sun temple at the center, which we'll elaborate on after our meditation. Let us prepare ourselves to rise up to the center of the cosmos, and by the law of correspondence, we'll go deep within ourselves to the center of the microcosm. So when you've already having a good look at the sacred diagram before us, in a way, an image of the cosmos and of ourselves, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Either holding the inhalation, either holding the exhalation or the inhalation, doing what Rosicrucians refer to as neutral breaths. Just enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath. It's one of the special rhythms in action that is our birthright. The mighty master within, the divine within, our true nature, housed in the temple of the body, or the holy temple. Now we'll follow the instructions of the Rosicrucian booklet, Liber 777. We'll rise to the heights of the celestial sanctum. Make sure first, though, that you're comfortable, however you're situated. If you're seated, I suggest you have your hands in your laps, palms down, knees at right angles, feet flat on the floor, about 8 inches apart, connecting with the temple of the earth, the temple of the holy body. Spine upright, so you can breathe unencumbered. And let us do a prayer and invocation as we prepare to rise to the heights of the celestial sanctum. May the divine essence of the cosmic infuse my being and cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may enter the celestial sanctum and attune in pureness and in worthiness. So mote it be. Now, with our psychic capacity and our imagination, let us picture ourselves rising up out of the room where we're situated, up above the dwelling or home where we are, and going up faster and faster. See below us the system and order of our neighborhood and all the activities there. And as we rise up further, look down on the municipality, the city where you dwell. See the great system and order of its various streets. As we go up, you can radiate love and well-being down to all people there, all beings on the city. As we move from the earthly city to the holy celestial city. And let us rise up quicker again and look down on the province or state where you dwell. Enjoy the great exhilaration of the ascent, taking deep neutral breaths as we rise faster and faster. And see below you the great weather systems, the clouds, the river systems, lakes, oceans, plains, mountains, whatever is suitable for your province or state. And come up, rising up faster and faster again, using great inner strength. Now is not the time to be passive, but use deep strength within yourself to rise up and see the entire nation or country where you dwell. And now rise up higher, continue to accelerate even faster, taking the entirety of the continent where you dwell, and now even the entire hemisphere, whether it be the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, and now rising up again quicker and quicker, accelerating even more rapidly. See the beautiful blue jewel of the earth revolving about its axis, the great system and order of the temple of the earth. As you see down below, all the cities of the earth as we rise up to the great celestial holy city. And look up now and see the solar system, centered on the great fiery ball of the sun, the temple of the sun, which is the center of the city, the son of the Magus, Tommaso Campanella, and see the other beautiful planets, traditionally 7 in number, just like the 7 circuits of the city of the sun. See the great rings of Saturn, the huge planet Jupiter, all revolving about in their beautiful elliptical orbits. And look up above the solar system, see the myriad stars that are around about our great home, the solar system. And continue to rise up, and as we do so, let us go deeper and deeper into our true spiritual nature. As we enjoy the exhilaration of the ascent, pass by myriad stars and nebulae, beautiful colors, taking in the full range of what the Rosicrucians refer to as all the vibrations, the great ocean of vibrations of the cosmic keyboard, going through many, many octaves of higher and higher and lower and lower rates of vibration. Sense that you're in a great sea of vibrations, taking in far more than our 5 physical senses normally can, because we're working psychically now. As we rise up faster and faster, enjoy the great harmony of the spheres, the beautiful music of the cosmos, the temple of the divine. More beautiful than any earthly music, which tries to imitate this music. And the more inspired the composer, the more it's able to be achieved. And keep rising up past the myriad stars and nebulae of our great home, the Milky Way galaxy, the spiring galaxy. and sense not only the motion that we saw earlier, the Earth rotating and the planets about the sun, but now the great axis of rotation about our Milky Way galaxy. Sense its great movement as its spiraling arms, and exit right out of the great spiraling arm near where our solar system is, and look back at the Milky Way galaxy, its beautiful design and colors. And now look up from the Milky Way galaxy and see other stars and galaxies. Feel the great stupendous order of it all, the great joy of seeing this great handiwork of the Creator. It's beautiful designs of system and dynamic order. And as we rush by various galaxies and nebulae, some galaxies spiraling in some other forms, as we go even faster, way beyond the speed of light, as we transcend space and time, now we see what astronomers and astrophysicists refer to great superclusters of galaxies, many, many galaxies together. See all the superclusters of the galaxies as we rush by them, enjoy the exhilaration of the ascent, sense the universe alive, as the Magus Tommaso Campanella spoke of. We're in a living cosmos. Just as all the cells in our body are alive with a cosmic consciousness, so throughout the universe, the cosmos is the consciousness of the cosmic, the great system and order that's back of the cosmos, and all natural and spiritual laws. As we go faster and faster past the superclusters of galaxies, let us sense now, just as we noted the various other revolutions and rotations, that the universe itself is rotating about a great cosmic axis. Feel its stupendous harmony and order of this great motion. Cosmic axis that mystics and philosophers since ancient times have spoken of. See how all the universe, all the galaxies and superclusters of galaxies are all rotating about this great axis. And as we go faster and faster with great inner strength, let us move or home in on the midpoint or center point of that cosmic axis. And as you come to it, slow up gradually, for then we'll be at the very center of the cosmos, at the center of the divine within us. And look about from that center, the beauty of the handiwork of the Creator, the great temple of the divine, the temple of the cosmos. Here is the booklet Liber 777 describes to us. Let's picture our own special sacred place. It may be an inspiring temple, like the Grand Temple of our Grand Lodge in Rosicrucian Park in San Jose, California. Or maybe it's a cathedral church of the Christians, or a Buddhist prayer hall or Buddhist stupa. Or maybe a mandir or temple of the Hindus, maybe a synagogue of the Jews, or a gurdwara of the Sikhs, or a beautiful place in nature, inspiring mountaintop or by the shores of a great lake or ocean with the waters coming in waves suggesting the great vibrations of the cosmic keyboard end of the universe, or a sacred grove or meadow, however you wish to visualize your celestial sanctum. Fill it in with sights and sounds and smells. There may be incense rising up to indicate the law of transmutation. See the incense rising in smoke just as we rose up to the very heights of the celestial sanctum. Spiritualizing our natures and attuning ourselves with the cosmic and the cosmic mind. Fill in your celestial sanctum further. You can picture others there that are part of this teleconference and other Rosicrucians and seekers and masters and the imperator and officers of our Grand Lodge who may be conducting a special ritual at this time at the heights of the celestial sanctum. You may wish to picture beautiful stained glass windows describing various Rosicrucian laws and principles to guide our lives and mission. Keep filling in beauty and awe, the sacredness of your celestial sanctum. And when you've done so, dwell there for a time and profound peace, or as Rosicrucians say, peace profound in the deep stillness within. Keep the mind centered on the divine within with each breath, coming in and out. If you find your mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to your still center, where the mighty master within, our true guide in life, dwells ever ready to guide us on the path of self-mastery. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Meditation is a profound act of non-avoidance. Take note whatever arises, but then immediately bring yourself back to the soothing breaths, inhalations and exhalations, dwelling on the divine within at the center of the cosmos. Use this period of meditation to soothe yourself, to be gentle with yourself, to rejuvenate yourself. Enjoy the deep silence together. As we continue to attune with the cosmic, soon we'll undertake certain other spiritual operations of the work and worship of the Rosicrucian Order and work. We'll do this at the very center of our being. The great holy city dwells, which we are true inhabitants and citizens. Now, as part of the work, the Council of Solace of our Grand Lodge, let us partake in the work of the Silent Council to assist the Council of Solace for all those who've petitioned the Council of Solace for aid and healing and guidance in their lives. Let us now radiate love and well-being from deep within ourselves, that deep still center. Just let it flow out like water from a fire hydrant, or air flowing out from a great wind chamber, or light pouring out from a great floodlight, or like the sun itself, light flooding out from us, love and wisdom flooding out, radiating out from us to all those who have petitioned the Council of Solace. And radiate love and well-being out to all those you know who are in need, or those you have heard of recently who are in need, to comfort them and uplift them, help heal them, make them whole. And radiate love and well-being to all those who are in need throughout the cosmos. Just feel the exhilaration of the love and well-being flowing out from you, just as you felt the exhilaration of rising up into the cosmic. Picture like a great light radiating out from you to all those in need. Do this as part of the law of service, as part of our mission in life. I think you'll find at a certain point that the flow increases even more strongly. You know that it's reaching those in need, wherever they may be on the temple of the earth or beyond. Let the holy temple of the body and our minds, of our outer nature, surrender, and let this great flow from the divine within our true nature perform this active service. At a certain point, I think you'll find that the flow, the love and well-being continues without any conscious effort on your part. When that starts to happen, just let it continue to flow as we dwell in the deep silence of the divine within. At the heights of the celestial sanctum, at the great center of existence, amidst the holy city. As you radiate love and well-being, I think you'll find it has a wonderful tonic effect on your whole being. You'll feel the vital life force even more charged within you. Just take note of it, but let it happen. Continue to dwell in peace profound, and still silence deep within you. Now, as the love and well-being continues to flow out from you, follow it out like a great floodlight filling the cosmos. Find your mind expanding out to fill the cosmos, to be one with the cosmic mind, following the love and well-being that's radiating out from you. Sense your mind everywhere, filling the cosmos. In this way, let your mind assume the cosmic mind. Be the cosmic mind. Experience as the cosmic mind experiences now. Continue to dwell one with the one, as the mystic philosopher Plotinus wrote. Being one with the cosmic mind, being the cosmic mind. Enjoy the exhilaration and great sense of well-being. If you find the mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to the breath. The breath like the word going forth to create the universe, be one with the cosmic mind. Soon we'll formally conclude our period of cosmic attunement with the celestial sanctum. But before we do that, let us formally conclude our period of sending metaphysical aid in conjunction with the Council of Solace. And say, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done, so mote it be. Now as we continue to dwell in peace profound, let us have the assuredness that the love and well-being will continue to radiate from us as our way of life, fulfilling in part our mission in this incarnation. Being an agent of the divine, assisting all those in need through the infinite resources of the divine within. This time we wish to evoke the law of gratitude and be thankful to all those officers of our order who have helped guide us. The Grand Master, the Imperator, our class masters, and others, spiritual teachers that you have or have had, your parents or others that have assisted you, special teachers. Radiate love and well-being to them now, if they can receive it, whether incarnated or not. Be thankful for all those who've shown us the way on the mystical path. Self-mastery. Now we'll begin our descent from the heights of the celestial sanctum. We're thankful for this opportunity to be of service and attune with the cosmic, which is our birthright and part of our true nature. Let us descend past myriad superclusters of galaxies going tremendously fast again. Take in the great beauty and harmony, the music of the spheres, great sea of vibrations. Sense the universe alive and all sentient beings in it. And now we start to see individual galaxies and nebulae. Way in the distance, we see the beautiful spiraling galaxy that is our home, the Milky Way galaxy. And home in on the great arm where we dwell. And enter into the Milky Way galaxy and pass by myriad stars, and stellar phenomena and interstellar gases, the pulsars, the quasars, the black holes that help balance the universe, the supernovae, binary stars, and see way in the distance our solar system and the great fiery ball of the sun, our local star. And now home in on the temple of the earth, the beautiful blue jewel. Come to the hemisphere where you dwell, and then the continent, and then the city or state, province or state, and then the city, the geographic area. And we can say together, may the God of my heart sanctify this attunement of self with the celestial sanctum. So mote it be. And now let us go down into our neighborhood, our dwelling, our home, in the room where we left off. And you can feel the chair or bed where you are and sense the motions, movements, and flow, the holy temple of the body. And when you're ready, you may wish to stretch and open your eyes, feeling rejuvenated, strengthened, healed, all the more ready to discharge the duties of the day, the work and worship of our order, and participate in our presentation. Thank you. Now, in our presentation to do with the city of the sun, utopian direction, self-mastery, it's good to bear in mind that the concept of utopia has various senses or levels of meaning. I'll emphasize most strongly its mystical meaning. And by mystical or mysticism, we mean the art and science of love, the return to the great oneness, which is our truest state, or into that union with the divine consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, masterful living. The mystical conception of utopia is something that philosophers and mystics have made to humanity. They're ideals to work towards and directions for the improvement of society and the other senses of meaning of utopia. It's a harmonious place to live, both inwardly and outwardly. You know, Plato's Republic or Sir Thomas More's City of the Sun, Thomas Campanella's work, but also Johann Valentine Andreas Christianopoulos or Sir Francis Bacon's New Atlantis. These are all major examples that are well known in the utopian tradition. These utopian writings assist humanity in experiencing, emulating, that is, putting in practice cosmic or mystical experiences. As humanity evolves, some of the ideals in earlier utopian descriptions are achieved on the earth plane or in living societies. Also, as humanity evolves, the ideals in the more recently written utopias become more progressive. An example of this is the Rosicrucian Utopia and the Positio Fraternitatis Rosae Crucis manifesto that was released by the Rosicrucian order by the Imperator in 2001. All these utopian writings encourage us to live by the guidance and wisdom within us and to work towards creating a theocratic society. That's a society guided by wisdom for the welfare of all. Now, while the term utopia can mean no place, it also in a way means the ideal place, a way that's an ideal that's held up to us by mystics over the ages to work towards. We have to be patient in this development. It's not something to be imposed, but it's something as we grow in our understanding, we're able to create an environment in a much more harmonious way. And as people work together, as the Rosicrucians refer to as we're all linked in the one soul, this then makes more and more heaven and earth over the millennia. Here we have a depiction, because I want to draw certain parallels between Tommaso Campanella's City of the Sun and other sacred structures. You'll see here on the right, beside the conceptual diagram of the City of the Sun, a depiction of the vault of CRC that's spoken of in an even earlier Rosicrucian manifesto, the Fema Fraternitatis. Again, it works with the number 7. 7 as being an important sacred number, a number for completion before the rebirth of the number 8. At the center of the vault was Christian Rosicrucian, which way is our divine self, our true nature and self-mastery to be reborn with the invisible light or the invisible sun flooding down to cause our rebirth and that of Christian Rosicrucians. Similarly, the great sun at the center of the temple of the City of the Sun worked likewise. The City of the Sun also was a great repository of knowledge that people would walk about to learn and be educated. Similarly, the vault of CRC had all Rosicrucian laws and principles embedded in it, all the arts and sciences to recover the learning of the Rosicrucians. Another way to look at the City of the Sun sacred diagram is matched on the right by the depiction of Christianopolis by Johann Valentine Andreas, a traditional Rosicrucian and contemporary of the traditional Rosicrucian Tommaso Campanella. Again, you'll see it's laid out like a sacred diagram. It has a fourfold structure, but also a circular structure that you could circulate around at, the sacred temple at its center, and various places for the various arts and sciences and for people to dwell. Again, another inspiring city to work towards for humanity. Another inspiring city is the heavenly city, spoken of in various spiritual traditions. Here we see a medieval manuscript by Beatus Facundus. The manuscript dates from 1047 CE. It has a depiction from the book of Revelation 21, the Christian Bible, the heavenly Jerusalem, where John is taken up into a high mountain, similar to the high point in the city of the sun. And he's shown the measurements of the temple and the structure of the universe and the nature of the Christ consciousness or cosmic consciousness. Similar to the city of the sun, matching the Copernican system with its 7 planets, there's a scientific interpretation of the heavenly Jerusalem in the Bible that has the 12 gates of the 12 zodiacal suns that are associated with the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 apostles. As the sun goes through the various gates, is spoken of in ancient cosmology. But this is, the heavenly Jerusalem is the way the ancient city that we work towards being citizens of again, or to realize our full maturity as a human being. Another inspiring conception of the similar time period of the city of the sun is here shown Stephen Michael Spacker's work on the Kabbalah, Theosophy, Alchemy, and Judaism. You see here the 7-fold path, or the 7 steps, the alchemical process, rising up to the temple at the mountain height, similar to the temple at the height of the mountain, the city of the sun. These are the steps that we pass through in our spiritual evolvement in association with the planets and the sign of the zodiac, similar to the cosmic or macrocosmic symbol of the city of the sun. As I mentioned earlier, the conception of the city of the sun depicted here on the Copernican system associated with Copernicus. And we see there the sun at the center, just like the temple, the sun's center, and it's then the orbit of Mercury, then of Mars, then of Moon. I should say with the moon going around the Earth with the orbit of the Earth, and then the orbit of Mars, and the orbit of Jupiter, then the orbit of the sun, and finally the sphere of the 6 stars about it. The citizens of the city of the sun were in a way moving around in their city on a microcosmic scale, moving around the universe. They're in harmony with the universe in that manner. That also allowed them to harmonize with the microcosm within themselves. I've spoken of the city of the sun as being on a great mound. You'll see here from a computer animation, I'll give you various resources in the group chat at the end when Karen pastes them later. Here's a depiction by Mark Rubin from his video, City 2, the City of the Sun. And you'll see the great dome structure of the sun at its center, but it's rising up as a great mound here. The great walls of the city of the sun had great fortification. They were in the 4 directions. We see one direction here. The Solarians, as they're referred to, the citizens of the city of the sun, they were very peaceful, both inwardly and outwardly, but they had good resources to defend themselves from others. And even if attackers could breach the first wall, then they had a formidable task to breach the next wall and the wall after that. They were also very skilled in all the arts and sciences and technologies for peace, but also to defend themselves. Here from a course at a EPFL University in Switzerland, which has a course on visions and utopias. The students from 2018, 2019, and 2020 depicted as part of their work various inspiring scenes of the City of the Sun that I've used here. You'll see here the City of the Sun in the background with its great huge dome structure, larger than any dome structure of antiquity or of the Renaissance, far bigger than one on St. Peter's or Rome, far bigger than one in the Del Duomo in Florence, and so forth. We see workers in the fields on the outside of the skirts of the cities, preparing the foods for the peoples in this, the great city of the sun. You see an inspiring conception of the city of the sun, reminding us like a great temple. We speak of temples as being a microcosm, a macrocosm, or mesocosm. So too cities are mesocosms or microcosms of the macrocosm. As I've mentioned, on the walls of the great city of the sun, people would learn by, not in classrooms, but they would learn by close observation of nature. Tommaso Campanella, he was a Dominican priest. He was a mystic. He was a magus and magic, natural and transcendental, but also an alchemist, great knowledge of Kabbalah. He's in the tradition of Marsilio Ficino, known from the Renaissance. Very learned, very profound, very concerned with the reform and upliftment of society. Tommaso Campanella was also a political activist in the area where he lived much of his life. Calabria, and what we know as Italy now, was under Spanish monarchy. He was working to overcome that, and it could be back. People could have more governance not under the Spanish crown. He worked with various aristocrats, royalty, and popes to try to bring about the City of the Sun ideals in his lifetime, but also, as I've mentioned, a great ideal that would be for humanity for all time, and later as new ideals are developed, such as in the Rosicrucian Utopia. You'll see depicted here various philosophers from antiquity that we know from a renowned Renaissance painting students have put in, but also here leaf and foliage, various animals and creatures, because there was the idea with Campanella and Ficino, and also another contemporary of Campanella, the mystic and magus Giordano Bruno, who's 20 years older than Campanella. The idea that the cosmos is alive, the earth is alive, and that by looking at the works of the creator, one would be drawn into the wonder of it all, of an attunement with the Christ consciousness, the cosmic consciousness. Just as we rose up into the cosmos, as we study the cosmos, we come into a deeper attunement with the God within ourselves. Here's another view depicting a figure of Plato and students. They're at the City of the Sun. They're taking in the various figures of nature as part of their education. We find as part of the City of the Sun that it is governed by various inspiring figures. It's ruled by a sun priest, a philosopher sovereign named Metaphysic. So you can see how symbolic the story is in many ways. He was assisted by 3 philosopher collaborators known as Power, Wisdom, and Love. They had different sections of society that they would handle. Everything in the City of the Sun is shared among its citizens. Everyone works in cooperation. Each person for the common good. There is no extreme poverty or material wealth. Education, invention, farming, and industry are emphasized for the public good, as we see before us. Astrology was applied to match men and women and the right moment for conception for the best possible child. Indeed, there's a variety of allusions to astrology in this allegorical tale, of which Tommaso Campanella was a master. One of the ways to look at this is that the essential point is that the human and community activities are to realize harmonium when they thoroughly apply and are accord with natural and spiritual laws and the great rhythms of the solar system and of the cosmos itself. Here we see one of the great baths of the City of the Sun. You notice in the foreground, it appears like red water. Well, Campanella talked about the therapeutic qualities of bathing in wine. Over time, some ideas about this have improved and evolved, but you can see there was importance of cleanliness because he had a strong sense of what we call preventative health measures or preventative medicine today. Again, the great baths are associated with ancient Rome, but also in the great city of the sun. There was time to have leisure, but also work. There was a balance. People working very efficiently, sharing. There was freed up more for leisure. And as leisure, we know from Rosicrucian studies, is an important time to reflect and meditate. And that way the human advances and works its way back to its great interior city of the sun state. You notice in the background, there's the large dome structure that's at the very center of the city. This is a depiction in the interior of the Temple of the Sun, where the priest metaphysic or Ho officiated. At the very center of the city, there were two globes, one showing that of the earth and one showing the celestial sphere. And also there were hung lights to do with the 7 planets and various depictions of the stars that you'll see above, and the great flooding down of the light from an opening in the great dome, an oculus below. In a way, we see here another cosmic diagram in which the entire city partaked of. You know, the city in its physical form and social organization is based on a profound plan that mirrors the solar system and the macrocosmic universe. The citizens then make their daily rounds literally in a cosmic diagram or mandala-like plan that reminds them of their microcosmic nature, that they are mini cosmoses. In this sense, the city of the sun is akin into its plans and the ritualistic founding of many of the great cities of antiquity, such as Rome in Europe, Beijing in Asia, Baghdad in the Middle East, and Teotihuacan in the Americas. The very form of the city is a symbol, which can daily remind its inhabitants of their divine origin and purpose. So we've had a look at Utopia, both as something to inspire us, to help attune us with the cosmic as we think about it and reflect on it, but also something that gives us direction for self-mastery in our life, but also for ideals for society in terms of cooperation, in terms of sharing, in terms of education, in terms of working together, giving what's best of ourselves. So the inner and outward match each other, in fact, are ultimately one expression, one union. In conclusion, then, we can say we have continued to explore Rosicrucian laws and principles and their creative expression and application for self-mastery and harmonious living. We can think of our Anmoric affiliated bodies, that is our lodges and chapters and pranei, and Grand Lodge events, including these Wednesdays afternoon teleconferences, are all working to express harmonious community living, often symbolized by the ideal sacred city before us and within us. The ideal city symbolizes too our original divine estate, for which we have deep in our memory and within ourselves, for which we ever work to return or to realize in the Christ consciousness or cosmic consciousness. In this spirit, we see how Tommaso Campanella worked tirelessly and bravely to draw humanity to an understanding of natural and spiritual laws and an enlightened way of living for both the individual aspirant, but also humanity as a whole. A major part of this effort was his utopian and symbolic story, the City of the Sun. It was just 1/1000th of his output, his over 80 major tomes. It was written while he was imprisoned for 27 years for his progressive views. But his inspiring approach to mysticism and meditation gave him great strength throughout his life, including his vision of the City of the Sun. It provided memorable ideals for him and for us and for humanity to work towards, while introducing mystical laws and principles that the reader can apply for self-mastery Even the circular and sevenfold plan of the city was a sacred diagram for the reader's contemplation and cosmic attunement, as we did in our Liber 7-7 cosmic attunement exercise. In this manner, Campanella fulfilled his mission in life and helped with the fulfillment and upliftment of us all. Thank you. This time, I'd like to ask Sora Karen to paste in the group chat your resources, if you're inclined, and also an equivalent form to paste as a, I should say, to attach a PDF document that is equivalent to what's been pasted in the group chat if you want to download the PDF with resources if you'd like to explore more of these items. For example, part of my original inspiration, you'll see listed here, was 2 Rosicrucian Digest articles from 1981 written by Frater Robin M. Thompson, who was the editor of the Rosicrucian Digest at that time. It was on the topic of the inspiring Rosicrucian Tommaso Campanella and the City of the Sun.